It is so rare in life that you can take something complicated that leads to success and boil it down to a single principle. But that's actually what I can do today. I'm going to share with you the single most important principle that will determine how successful you will be as a real estate investor. So before I can tell you what this single principle is that leads to all of this success, I first want to help you understand what it is not. The world is filled with individuals that are dabblers. You know what I mean, right? I mean, the curious, the not so serious. It's individuals that they'll tiptoe and they'll dance around, and yet they wonder why they're not getting results. And you know why they're not getting the result. You tell me, why not? There's a lack of commitment. So what do you think full, consummate commitment actually looks like? What does full commitment actually feel like? One word. One word that I find makes the difference in the world between those that just freaking nail it off the charts from the dabblers. And that one word, I'm not sure I can spell it, but I'm gonna try. That's supposed to read immersion. And what immersion means is that you allow yourself to become entirely entrenched into a new mindset, a new way of thinking. For me, I get obsessed. Anytime I can't figure out how to do something, there's some people that have claimed that I have ADHD or that I have the ability to my mind is all scattered, but the reality is I've possessed this superhero that if my mind latches onto something, freaking all the barriers go up and there's only one thing on my mind. It's that. And I'm not gonna let go of that bone until I fully understand it, until I can do something with it. That's what happened to me when I got in the game of real estate. All I needed was that first gentle nudge. And then it was game over once I fully immersed myself. So I'm sitting there in this community class with my wife. And at this point, I knew that I wasn't going to be a doctor. And I was in this horrible gap. I didn't know what I was going to do. And for me, dude, it was like the worst feeling ever. I don't know if you can relate, where society's putting this pressure on you that you got to become someone and you have to know what that someone is. And then you got to have your path and you got to be on it. But if you've ever had that path ruined, if you've ever been disappointed because you found out that the thing that you wanted, it's like when a kid's like, oh, I'm not going to be an astronaut, I have bad eyesight. That's important. Or I'm going to be a veterinarian, I'm going to save all the animals on the planet. I mean, we grow up at some point, and then when you do, you realize that some of the ambitions that you have, you might not be cut out for, they might come difficult to you, or people don't believe in you, and all of a sudden those dreams, they pop. That's where I was at when I met my first mentor that inspired me. There's a person who had made millions of dollars in real estate. I discovered that they hadn't had a job in years. They had just gotten back from traveling, spent years traveling abroad. To me, it was like this unfathomable, are you kidding me? I actually know someone and they did it through this weird thing called real estate. I didn't even know what it meant. I just knew that that was how I was gonna win my independence. And 4.5 years later, I did. I was financially free, I was out of the system, and I'll never forget what it was like being in my Beamer, top down, and I was cruising faster than I probably should have been driving on the road. And I was calling up my wife, my father-in-law, who had been a business partner to me, and all these other people, and just telling them that I'm done, I'm out, and I'm never gonna go back to society's freaking game plan again. I'm never gonna set foot in the corporate world space again. It was freeing. So what did I do that allowed that financial freedom to occur? My friend, one word, immersion. You can watch my YouTube channel and you can subscribe, but in the end of the day, knowledge is only going to get you so far. There's one thing that you're going to miss if all you do is have knowledge. You're going to miss the execution, which means you've got to take action. Now I want to help you understand where I got my full immersion. I put myself in the proximity of my mentors, and then I wouldn't let go of them. I was on the phone with them, I was communicating with them, I was looking at properties with them. If they went somewhere, I was gonna go with them. That full immersion, that's when everything changes. I spent 2 years of my life living in Germany, and I was expected to learn the German language. And I'm gonna tell you that I had spent 8 weeks trying to do a crash course on language that helped me this much. And then when I actually got to the country and forbade myself to speak any English, I learned the language really fast. In fact, within 6 months, I became fluent in German. Nicht wahr? It's because of this full immersive experience that I had. If you've been watching my channel for a while and you're like, Kris, okay, I know that I want to do real estate. I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to do it. You are going to fail. You're not going to succeed. Because if you're like most people, you're a dabbler. You think watching videos on YouTube is going to equate to millions of dollars? Only if you can find a way to translate that into action. Because if you possess all this knowledge and you read my books or you get on my podcast, I'm telling you right now, that is not the path to success. That's the pathway to learning a lot. And I know too many people that know way too much that aren't taking action. So this is my invitation for you. I provide on a regular basis a multi-day full immersion process. Imagine getting saddled up hip to hip with me for 3 straight days to teach you real estate and then to do it. Find the deals and actually make the phone calls. Get them under contract. Having people actually leave the event with deals that they have done, they've completed, that they got under contract. Let's stop talking about making money and let's go out there and freaking actually do it. Now, if that resonates with you, this is what you need to do. You need to click the link in the description below and you need to come out to my event. And the first thing you're going to say is, Kris, oh, plane tickets cost money. Gas costs, hello, of course plane tickets cost money. What are you trying to do? You're trying to become a multimillionaire the easiest way possible, putting in the least amount of time and just dabbling? That's all the jokesters, the wannabes that are out there. And trust me, last thing you want to do is run into me 10 years later and be like, well, I watched some of your videos 10 years ago. 10 years somehow magically passed. I got gray hair. I wish I had done something. That's the journey of most people in life. Most people that I meet. They're willing to learn a little. They're willing to spend a little bit of time, but in the end, when they don't command the result, do you know why it is? Because they decided to become professional dabblers. People who just mess around a little bit and wouldn't actually get serious. Now, if there's a woman, men, that you like, that you want to secure, that you want to marry, let me ask you, does she want to see you as a hookup guy, in and out and flighty? Dude, she doesn't want that. Does she want to see you checking out other girls' fine equipment while you're hanging out with them? They don't want that either. You know what a woman really wants? Dude, she wants a man that will give every part of him to her. And in real estate, it is no different. You got to choose whether you're in or you're out. There is no dabbling. Come spend 3 days with me and we won't just talk the talk. We're going to walk the walk. We're actually going to go out there and we're actually going to do deals. We're actually going to pick up the phone call. I'm going to put them on speakerphone for the whole room to hear. And everyone's going to be like little giddy schoolgirls just all freaking excited. Like, oh my gosh, we're actually doing this. And that's ultimately what leads to results. This stuff, it only seems a little bit scary at first, but the reality is you just got to get in the habit of making your move. You got to get in the habit of taking your shot. You got to get in the habit of rejection and someone saying it's not going to work. And by the way, everyone else that you know and respect telling you this thing's never going to work and the Pied Piper soothed you down a stupid road that isn't going to create anything for you, because this is your opportunity to figure out whether you are that man or woman who's going to become self-made. And that's when you know what you want, you don't take no for an answer, and you do everything in your power to make it happen. Now, if you feel like you benefit from a full immersive experience where you're actually learning it and then doing it and getting hands-on, because what could that mean for you? Well, this is the surprising news. If you did 5 deals every year, count them out, 1, 2, 5, right? If you do 5 deals with me every year for the next 10 years, do you know what that will turn into? Over $5 million. I'll show you the math on that. It's wicked awesome. 5 deals, are you kidding me? Dude, you can have a career, you can have a job, but to do those 5 deals, you got to get yourself fully immersed into a place where you understand the foundational language. You get the real estate. You understand what it is. You understand how to take action on it. You're actually writing up the offers. You're making the deals happen. You're getting rejected 50 times so that you don't the other 5 times so that you make millions of dollars. Does that make sense? Here's what I'm really sharing in the end. Yes, subscribe, watch more videos. Every day I'm going to have a new video coming your way, and they're all designed to help you be your best possible you. They're all designed to help you be as successful as you possibly can be. And I just want to make sure you understand loud and clear, this isn't like going to college where enough textbooks is going to equate to success in life. That only happens when you act on this knowledge. And most people aren't going to do that until they have a high degree of certainty that what they're doing is the right way. And the fastest way I know how to get you certainty is a fully immersive experience. So you can click the link below, take my courses. That's a great example of full immersion. And those courses are always going to come with 2 tickets to one of these events. Do you know why? Because this is the sad truth. You know what the 80-20 rule is, right? 80-20 rules. 100% of the people have good intentions. 20% of the people will take action and 80% won't. They intend to, they want to, but they won't. That's the magic and the mystery that Jim Rohn called it of human beings, is that everyone can, but very few will. If you want to separate yourself from everyone else, if you want to live the life that few will ever know, if you want to go on to doing incredible things, not just having dreams that take your breath away, but actually seeing those come to life, that's for the action taker. And the action takers are those that fully immerse themselves. So there's a number of ways to do that. Click the link below, find the way that will serve you best, and I'll look forward to seeing you at one of those events where you and I can saddle up hip to hip and get you going on your 5 deals that will create your ultimate financial independence.